Hello, and a warmest welcome from EGGRO VR. It has been a long time since my last update, or upload. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I hope you all had a good New Year's and holidays. I did. I purchased the HP Reverb G2 over the weekend. It's the version 2, whatever you want to call it. It is fantastic. Wow, with DCS, even on update 2.8, I had to make some adjustments and tweaks to my settings from within DCS settings. I did download OpenXR and OpenComposite, and I'm going to share with you this will apply to those of you like me that are looking for the most immersive, realistic feeling in a flight sim that you're going to find. I know there's Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but that's a whole nother day. Today is DCS VR. Anyways, using OpenComposite and OpenXR, I did make some small tweaks in there, and I would be lying to say it doesn't look perfect. It looks so real. I haven't felt that since I've actually got into VR. I felt that with this HP Reverb G2 and OpenXR. That being said, there are some caveats. We will get into that. SteamVR right now is running fantastic, and I don't see the need to switch over to OpenXR, but it's there when I need it, and that's cool. So I just keep it updated. I keep it in the background. I will share that. I also keep it disabled for the time being. Without further ado, we are going to dive in and stick around, because I know there are some people that are struggling with the transition from 2.7 to 2.8. If you're on an auto update, it just did it automatically. If not, and say you did and you're still struggling, I'm going to help you. What I'm providing today, I'm not really looking for feedback. I don't care. I mean, it's working for me, and I hope that it works for you. I don't know why it wouldn't unless you're having other issues. But I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to make your DCS VR settings almost perfect. When I say almost perfect, it's never really perfect, unless, of course, you're rocking a 4090 and a Vario Aero with a 13900K, which for most of us, that's not the case. I'm rocking an EVGA RTX 3080 Ti, i7 12700K, and what do I got? 32 gigs of Dominator Platinum, DDR5. It's fantastic RAM. That being said, it is still last gen. And again, this is always going to be the case with this DCS sim, is that you are always going to be somewhat behind. It's a hobby. Either you get on the train or you get off the train. I'm in it for the long haul. I absolutely love this sim, and that's not going to change anytime soon. I don't want to just fly around. I want to blow some shit up, and that's why I love this sim. You can do all of it. Without further ado, let's dive in and stick around. This is going to help. Here we go. Okay, so first up, we're going to create a restore point. And the reason for doing this is if you've ever installed or have a system failure or data corruption, the system will restore and can return a system to a working condition without having to reinstall an operating system. This will repair Windows environment by reverting back to the files and settings that were saved in the restore point. So to do so, you're just going to go to the bottom left under search, type restore. After that, we're going to create a restore point. Name it whatever you want. Anything that's applicable. For me, it's DCS before changes. And bada boom, moving on. Next, we're going to do a system file checker, otherwise known as SFC scan now. So to do so, you're going to go to the bottom left under search. We're going to type in CMD, and then we're going to right click, run as administrator. We're going to click yes. Then you're going to type SFC/scan now. Hit enter. We're going to let it run its course. I will run this quick, but the reason for this is a system file check is a utility built into the operating system that will check for system file corruption. Kind of the same. We did a restore point just for these same scenarios, but this is another practice I hope that you stay on top of. Okay, we're going to go to Steam, so we're going to double click Steam icon. We're going to right click where it says DCS. We're going to scroll down to where it says Manage, Browse Local Files. We're going to exit out of Steam. We're then going to double click bin, and we're going to then proceed to drag and drop the OpenVR API, which we downloaded, replace system files, let it run its course, bada boom, there it is. Next up, we are going to delete our Metashaders 2 folder and our FXO in, well, you'll see DCS here. DCS magically replaces these files, so do not worry, trust me. Local file, local disk, users, your name or whatever you have it under, save games, DCS, double click, and right there, FXO, we're going to double or right click it. We're going to scroll down, delete, Metashaders 2, delete. And as I was saying, DCS, when you launch it the next time, will take a little bit longer. Not much, nothing to write home about, but or complain about. But they will magically replace those files. So that's if you're having any issues with DCS whatsoever. Here's OpenXR. Right now I have it disabled, but later in the video I will enable it and kind of show you what I'm using. Like I was telling you, it looks really, really good, but it does have caveats. Bada boom, we're going to go under graphic settings, type under graphic. We're going to get rid of hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, turn that off, as well as VRR, turn that off as well. Next, we're going to go to game mode and we're going to make sure that that is also turned off. Moving on. Okay, next up we're going to go back to our Steam settings. So we're going to go into Steam, double click the icon. This is with your HMD hooked or connected to your PC. Then we're going to click VR. Right there. Go to the top, scroll down to where it says settings. Minimize this. For now, this is general. I have my resolution per eye. Motion smoothing is on. And I have resolution per eye set to 50%. That's 50. After this, I go down to where it says video, ASF. I have that on as well. And I'm gonna, I don't know if I should, none of this else matters, but we will go here, make sure that nothing else is running or manage apps in the background, just disable those. I find anything that's going to utilize your GPU. Go back to video, we're going to go per application settings, we're going to scroll down to DCS, and right there I have that set to 100%, and that's within DCS. Those are my SteamVR settings for SteamVR. This will change. This will not be applicable once we launch OpenXR, which we will do later in this video. All right, from within Windows Mixed Reality homepage, we're going to go to where it says Startup. Make sure that everything is turned off. Next, we're going to go to Headset Display. We're going to set that to low. Right below it, we're going to set to 720. This is in the background. It doesn't matter unless it bugs you. I wouldn't change it. We're going to splurge, boys. We're going to go for the best visual quality. Yeah, as always. Scroll down. Again, best visual quality. 90 hertz. I'm definitely not going to 60 hertz unless I absolutely have to. Calibration. You could set your IPD within SteamVR itself. Mine is 64. It's a little bit higher than normal. It says there it's kind of a false reading, but it's really easy to fix. Just use little dial, find the setting that suits you best. Bada boom. Let's move on. Okay, next up, we're going to right click anywhere on the desktop. Then we're going to choose Nvidia Control Panel. We are going to scroll down right where it says low latency. We're going to click Ultra. Follow these settings to the T. I'm serious. This is working absolutely fantastic for me. Power management, we're going to go to preferred maximum performance. Shader cache, we're going to go 10 gigabytes. Below that, anisotropic, we're going to click on, and quality, we're going to go for highest performance. Threaded optimization and everything else below that, the next three are off. Virtual reality pre-rendered frames, we're going to set that to 3. And then we're going to go over, make sure that G-Sync is not enabled. If it is, unclick it. I had also V-Sync is off. It's just not necessary, and you will see the difference. Trust me, this looks so good. here, image settings, I just went full performance, use the 3D application. And that's about it. Those are my Nvidia control panels. Okay, so we're here to the good stuff. DCS settings. I'm gonna set on the fly, going from a flat to VR. So you can always screenshot at the end, because those are the settings that will apply once I'm done. But starting at the top, we're gonna go, there's gonna be 2 settings that I will change depending on a module that I'm flying. So if I'm flying the AH-64D and I set a mission in, say, Syria, obviously I'm going to set my terrain at medium, and MSAA I'm going to set to off. Same goes with the P51D Mustang, and either of the channel maps I would set terrain at medium and MSAA to off. Other than that, the rest of the modules I would go with textures at high and MSAA to 2 times. All these other settings will apply. Just change those 2 accordingly depending on your hardware and its capability, and whatever works for you. If you're seeing some ghosting and skipping, just dial a few settings back. You will be set, trust me. It's working for me, and if your hardware is anywhere near what I have, you're going to be golden, trust me. Textures, we're going to go for now to medium. Terrain textures high, civil traffic's off, water low, visible range low, heat blur off, shadows off, secondary shadows off, resolution as low as your monitor can go. Monitors 1 screen, that's just for me, I have 1 screen. Res of cockpit, for me always 1024, just looks so good. MSAA, that will change and it will vary on your situation. So for now, off. Depth of field off, lens effect none, motion blur off, clouds low. You can change that depending on the situation sometimes too. Everything else off. And on the other side, cluttered grass, you can basically set that as you want. It's not too taxing, but I'm going to set mine to 190, so that's 190. Forest visibility, we're going to set to anywhere from say 6.2 to 7.2, I found is the sweet spot. Forest detail factor 0.71 down to 0.68, I find looks good. Scenery detail factor 0.73 all the way down to 0.7. I mean, choose whatever works for you. Preload radius around 85,000. That's 15,000 less than default, but you want to make this work. We're trying to find the sweet spot. I'm running 90 frames per second smooth. My frame times are good, well below 11, so I'll do a short video at the end of this just to show you what's working, that this is working smoothly. Gamma, we're going to set, actually chimney smoke, set to 1. Gamma is pretty important. I run that at about 2, just for brightness. It works very nicely with update 2.8. And external field of view, we're going to go, I'll just follow that. Anisotropic filtering, I found this is important. At least for me, I like to run that at 16 times. You can lower it. I don't know. Just do whatever works for you. Terrain object shadows, flat. For me, I like to run flat. Sometimes I'll roll it back to default. Not very taxing, but that little bit might make the difference. Cockpit global illumination off. Message font scale, follow that. Scale GUI, same, follow that. Rain droplets off, and VSync off, full screen off. Then we go up to where it says VR. We are going to basically set our pixel density and leave it at 1.0. Again, like I said, we are flying, we're using the HP Reverb G2. It just has better visual fidelity than the Oculus Quest 2. And I was able to run that at 1.3 with the Quest 2. But there is such a difference in visual fidelity and clarity with the HP Reverb G2. Try these out, you'll see what I mean. And as I was saying, we're going to go back to the other settings. All other modules and all other maps work very good with terrain at high and MSAA at 2 times. And what I mean by very good is stable frame times at 90 frames per second. So, I hope that applies. Enjoy, and we're going to keep going. Here we go. Okay, next up, I'm going to run IQ software by Corsair. It's just a software that I have. I'm going to run my fans. I always leave my AIO at extreme, but in this case, I'm going to run my fans from quiet to extreme. I want to keep my PC as cool as possible. Fans blasting, so it's a bit loud, but over DCS with the the speakers over my ears with the HP Reverb G2, I do not hear my fans whatsoever. Here's the dashboard, bada boom. Gives me kind of an overlay of what's going on with heat and temperatures from within my PC. Next up, I am going to do an overclock. Well, I'm going to show you the overclock that I use. I use X1 Precision by EGGRO. Alright, here we are with Precision X1. I have my GPU clock at 120, that's 120, and my memory clock at 400, that is 400. It's not a max overclock by any means, but it is very sufficient for temps, keeping my memory temperatures down. For our target temps or power, target power we have maxed out, and I would recommend running a fan curve. In this case, I'm just running max fans, but probably recommended for longevity of your GPU is to run a fan curve. Okay, let's move on. I'm just showing you can hit your Windows icon on your touch controller or whatever they're called, mixed reality controller. Find SteamVR. I'm going to exit out there, but I already have it kind of like a painting. We're going to go in. We have to make a change. So go to the Windows mixed reality icon and go to graphics. Right there, default SteamVR app motion reprojection, disable that, and force DX11 mode, turn that to on. And bada boom, that's done. Okay, next up, we're going to go for Windows or OpenXR for Windows Mixed Reality. First, you want to set motion reprojection to automatic. Customize render scale, check that. I go to 90%, works really good. And preview runtime settings, I just click that to on. OpenXR, Mixed Reality, make sure that is set. We're going to exit out, but I'm going to show you exactly how to get Windows Mixed Reality. Go to Microsoft Store. Right under search, we're going to type in OpenXR. Okay, I'll try it again. OpenXR. You're going to go to there, click that, install. For me, it's just going to say open, but it's right there. There you go. Okay, this one's going to seem pretty obvious, but you're going to want to set a power plan to high performance, or at least that's what I do. So under search, hit power, then just set high performance. You want the most out of your GPU. We're going to exit out of here. Another one that's pretty obvious and I've set in previous videos is you want to clear your notifications and disk space, but we'll just do notifications today. So just type in notifications under search. We're going to go to storage, temporary files, let it scan, see how much is there. 16.2 megabytes, not a big deal. We're going to remove them anyways. Yours might be like 2 gigabytes. I would just go. Okay, as I promised, OpenXR. These are my settings that I use. Other than sharpness, I do bump up to 65%. Upscaling, I'm using CAS, not FSR or NIS. I have tried it off, but I'm just happy with CAS. It looks fantastic. The only caveat that I'm finding, so do a screenshot real quick because I'm going to blast through this. The only caveat, aliasing. It's kind of an issue. My frame times aren't as secure as when I do fly in Steam. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'll prove it right now. I'm going to show you. So watch the frame times, watch the frames, the FPS, GPU and CPU frame time. Maybe I'm not using the software right. I'm really new to OpenXR, but we are going to change a few settings, textures to medium, and as I've said before, MSAA off. Do not get yourself, or don't get it twisted. This looks fantastic. It looks crazy real. My only issue is the aliasing and frame time. I will be using this and keeping it updated for future, for upscaling, for falling behind with hardware. It doesn't hurt to have this. I think they're brilliant for what they did here. It works wonderful, and it does probably, it's better. It's better than anything for visual clarity, for picture quality. It looks fantastic, but I'm not going to be using it. SteamVR, more stable, and it almost looks as good. But I would way rather go for stable frames. We're going to run the Harrier in the Nevada map. I'm going to prove it here. You'll have to watch frame times and FPS between the two. There's a difference. I find stability 90 frames per second with using SteamVR. To me, that's my comfort zone. Visual clarity, like I said, does look better. using the upscaling by AMD CAS, not FSR. Don't get that wrong. Anyways, you could try it. I mean, try everything that works for you. Hopefully you screenshot that. You can always, go back and screenshot it if you plan on doing this. And I recommend that once at least you try it. To me, it was breathtaking. I mean, the visuals, the clarity looks so good. But like I said, the caveats are holding me back, and I like the stability with SteamVR. I'm probably going to piss a few people off using that or saying it, but oh well. This is what works for me, and this is what I'm sticking to for now. OpenXR will be probably in the future for me. I will dabble a little bit more just for that upscale. Anyways, we're going to switch back and forth. I'm just going to show you this short clip flying the Harrier in Nevada, and I'll do the same thing. I'll probably share a video flying in the South Atlantic as well. Maybe a clip flying AH-64D using OpenXR. But I'm finding just flying the Harrier or the F-18 are the more stable for me. Maps like Caucasus or Nevada. But with that being said, let's jump to the next aircraft. So you're going to fly again in the Harrier, South Atlantic map. I like to do testing on this map because it is a little more taxing on the hardware. OpenXR frame times look pretty good, but I mean, we're pretty high up here, and we were just below 11 milliseconds on the GPU. CPU frame times kind of locked between 11.1 and 11.2. I don't know, maybe like I'm still fairly new to OpenXR, and maybe I'm missing something with settings, but other than that, it looks fantastic. If you have any advice, suggestions, I am open to what you have to say. A lot of people complaining about this map. I don't know what the problem is. It's beautiful. It's more realistic of Falklands than one could imagine. Yes, it's desolate, but isn't that kind of real? Like, there's not going to be skyscrapers in the middle of the marsh. Come on. Anyways, I'll try to do a quick landing here. You know what, screw it. We're going to move on to the next aircraft. I'm going to try to get through this quickly, and then we're going to move over to FPS VR using SteamVR and same settings, and I'll show you the difference, and hopefully you'll understand why I am using SteamVR for now. I see the potential with OpenXR, and like I said, I'm going to keep it. But, let's move on. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to turn off OpenXR Toolkit, disable it, and we're going to switch to SteamVR. Here's the log file. This is just to verify that it's working correctly. Detected Open Composite. I just checked this to verify that I'm actually using this correctly. Shows you the settings I'm using. No upscaling there, but I actually was using an upscaling CAS. We'll close that. We're going to jump into some SteamVR, and hopefully you see the difference, because I definitely feel the difference here. OpenXR runtime. This is what you want to do when you switch out. You want to turn that and set it back to active when you're going to switch to SteamVR. And your settings, I've already showed this to you. Let's move on. Here we go. Okay, here's the overlay of FPS VR using SteamVR, and frame times, FPS at 90 frames per second. We're in a dogfight on the channel map with the P51D Mustang. Short dogfight. This isn't going to be anything extravagant. These older planes are a little tricky. It's not like flying an F-15. It's a little rougher of a ride, as expected. But I don't know. I'm just enjoying SteamVR a little bit better here. Frame times are more solid, and I'm pretty much sticking with my FPS at 90 frames per second, mostly. We have the odd spike of GPU frame time goes up, but CPU frame times barely over 5. I do get that your CPU is not as utilized, or your memory as much as your GPU memory, and so on, but this is stable altogether. I don't want jumping frame times up past 11. up into 20s. Not cool. I don't know. Visually, like I said, the upscaling looks better using CAS on OpenXR, but this is pretty damn close to visual clarity as well. But you're having way better stable frame times with high FPS. Well, high in my case, 90, but it's looking really good on the G2. Okay, we saved the good stuff for last. That's the AH64 Hilo, and basically the FPS stay about 90. We do have a few drops. This is Nevada map, hot ramp start, but there's other aircraft that I will be flying with, Wingman. But for this to be this stable with those settings on the G2, it's pretty good. Say hello to our buddy over there. And George, you ready to go? We are gonna take off. GPU usage looks pretty good. Memory, holy, we are almost jamming 12 gigabytes. That's cool. But yeah, you see those little spikes dipping down 75. That's to be expected here though. This would be like flying Persian Gulf, same thing. Between buildings, multiplayer, anything like, oh, multiplayer is way worse. But you can adjust your settings accordingly. I'm just saying, single player right now, hot ramp start with a Wingman. It's looking pretty fantastic. Frames, what is my average? 88.9 frames per second. Frame times just above 10. When you see those pink lines go by, that's just basically a frame that was generated for me. Motion reprojection, whatever they call it. They have so many names for the same thing. I'm just gonna screw around here. I don't know. It's funny, I'll put this guy through the paces, my Wingman. I'll just do some crazy maneuvers, fly in between buildings, and he kind of follows me like a little sheepdog and crashes. It's funny. It's not a real person, it's not a real aircraft. A lot of people take this sim maybe a little too serious. It's just a game. You're not flying a real plane. If you were, trust me, or if I was, I wouldn't be screwing around, but it's a game. It's a sim, whatever the frick you want to call it. Now, OpenXR, there will be some people I know that are going to dispute what I say. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. All I'm saying is I'm kind of proving it here. For stability, it's way better using SteamVR right now. I know that sounds ridiculous over an upscaler. I tried everything with OpenXR. As far as I know, like I said, I'm still new. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. I just don't think so. I dabbled in all settings. I dropped my sharpness. Basically everything you can do in OpenXR, I tried it. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. But right now, I'm happy with SteamVR. There's a lot of people that are dead set against it. It's taxing on your PC. I don't agree. I don't see it. I don't struggle with it anyways, at least in my experience. But damn, this is so much fun flying this jobber. Okay. Yeah, the textures, it looks pretty good. Not bad at all. I'm not even going to explain it anymore. CAS does look better visually. But stability, that's just where I'm at. I just want comfort. And maybe I'm greedy for asking for 90 frames per second, but I just want to stay there. I will adjust settings, take a hit a little bit visually, just for that stability. I don't know if you're the same as me. Anyways, moving on, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to try to land this in... Nope, screwed up. And yeah, that didn't work out so good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want. Thumbs up, thumbs down, it's up to you. Anyways, it was good to see y'all. It's been a while. I love y'all. You take care, and I will see you on the next one. Maybe in the next one we will dabble a little more into OpenXR, and we'll see where we go. Okay, bye for now.